that it would work in Firefox?
That's what I'm going to try. So apparently, our friends at JetBrains have discovered that yes, Super Dev mode doesn't work with Chrome 43. The breakpoints don't stop, just like the beat. So we're going to try it with Safari. And so we'll just go and see here. So I ping the server. Ta-da! Yay! I'm not an idiot. It's all about me. Okay. Well, for those of you who just sat through an hour of screencast and didn't make any sense, so here's what's supposed to be happening. So that is really weird. What could? Yeah, I don't know. Come on, Sergi. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, but it's like something about when Chrome hits super dev mode, it's all in Java, so Chrome must take some different code path or something, or doesn't get the... Wow, that's really weird. Okay. Good to know. Oh, actually, this is on the server side. That's okay. Wait, no, I'm not there yet. As a matter of fact, no, I'm pretty sure that that's all server side. That's all server side. Nope. Never mind. Wah, wah. Okay. Drat. So it looks like Safari has the same problem. So that must have something to do with IntelliJ and Super Dev mode. Now, any Eclipse fans out there want to try it and see if it works? Because the whole idea is with dev mode is that you're supposed to be able to set debug breakpoints for the client-side code, and so then you can debug your client more easily. Well, this stinks. And the fact that I'm using GWT 2.7.0, I think there is a 2.8 out there, so maybe I could try that to see if it works, although I don't think 2.8 is finalized yet. So, really interesting. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, well, so anyway, that's GWT. Okay, so our next kata. So I was thinking about it over the weekend, and I think based on what I've seen with the pairing and the mob programming, I want to go back and reinforce some of the test-driven development. So like what I'm seeing is that you guys are identifying good test cases, but I don't think I've given you enough examples of really what it means to build an application using TDD. And I think certainly for that first kata that we did, and even last week's, they were kind of simplistic. So I'd like to take a slightly different tactic tonight. I want to spend a little bit of time starting out the application with you. So what I'll do is I'll create the archetype. We'll start in on the kata. We can have some back and forth here. And actually, there's so few of you, we're kind of like a big mob of ourselves. But by the way, thank you for coming and thank you for coming back. I mean, you've learned about the next project. You've seen me, talk about GWT. This is just gravy, but I hope this means that you guys are excited about working with TDD. Anyway, what I'll do is I will put everything up on GitHub, and then you guys can fork my repository. And so find someone here who knows what that means and pair up with them. And then you guys can continue it on your own. I think that might make for a smoother transition because we've seen in the last couple of weeks it's like, oh, it takes some people like 10 minutes just to get off the ground with the archetype, and then like how do you approach it? So I think I can do a better job of explaining this stuff to you. Okay, so let's get started. Sean, did you want to pair on this one, or yeah? Because okay, let's do that here. Can you get the keyboard out? I'm gonna pause this because we don't need to be. What are we doing here? Oh, here's your test 10, but it's just creating the API documentation. Okay, who here remembers Minesweeper? Yeah, a couple of you. I haven't used like Windows 2015 or wherever the latest one is. Do they still have Minesweeper?
They don't include any of the games anymore.
Ah. Gee, you think with the touchscreen? Did you get Minesweeper with yours?
It's
That's
an,
so nice
it's an
of them.
add-on, but they don't include it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, anyway, for those of you who might have forgotten who are not familiar with it, the whole idea is to get a little grid, and the way you play the game is that initially you can't see what's on the grid, and when you click on a cell in the grid, it sort of expands, and there are a bunch of numbers that pop up, and the numbers are what? How many mines are adjacent to that cell? Okay, and so what this kata does is it implements, well, sort of that game. It doesn't have the interaction. It basically implements the logic of determining for a given map of your minefield for each cell in it, how many mines are adjacent to that. So each minefield has a number of rows and a number of columns, so it's a M by N minefield. And the input of the program is a little ASCII art of the minefield, where each asterisk represents a mine, and then empty cells are dots. And the output of the program is that same M by N grid, but if a cell has an asterisk in it, a mine in it, it's the output is that mine. Otherwise, it's the number of cells that are adjacent to that cell that have a mine in it. Okay.
I understand how they have 2 tubes.
Those are the only spots that it's adjacent to 2 mines.
It's on all diagonal too.
Oh, it's on there.
Yep. Yeah. So it's all. That's a good point. Yes, it's not just north, south, east, and west. It's surrounded by mines. And let's see here. For each field, you must print the following message in a line alone. Field number X. Oh, yeah, okay. So that's just it. Oh yeah, each square may have at most 8 adjacent squares, and they give a couple of test cases. Okay. So, any questions on the game? Okay. So, give me a minute. I'm going to create the Maven Archetype to give us a little project here. And actually, while I'm doing that, how about you guys think about how we might approach this test-driven and sort of like what test cases are interesting. So I'll quick do that. Let's see here. Okay, so I'll create an archetype. Let's use the project one. Oh, why aren't I using the keyboard? Sorry. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to project one. Hey, is the mouse backwards to you? I wonder if I can fix that.
The up and down scroll.
Yeah, and
well, Mac is backwards from.
Yeah, let's see if I can fix that. Well, it's funny. I think I'm used to that with the trackpad, but let's see here. Scroll device natural. Okay.
I think if you uncheck that, it'll...
Yeah, but oh, this is the trackpad, right? So this is good. Okay, that's now I scroll down and it moves down. That's what I'm expecting. Okay.
It's if you're pushing it up, like if you're scrolling.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. I've just never gotten used to it.
If you're pushing it with your hand or up and down. That's how they think.
Well,
it
and
is.
the trackpad, I'm used to that, but the mouse, I mean, I don't know. It's like
with the mouse,
10,000 years of using a mouse here. Yeah, I'm like somebody's grandma now. Okay. Was that? Yeah, I just did. Feels it's much more natural for me. Even though it was the natural setting that I just disabled. Okay, here we go. We'll just start off with our old friend here. Oops. Alt-C, and then we go here and paste it. I don't want to call it phone. No, it'll just ask me for everything. Oh, the tilde is wrong.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Nice. I'm glad you remembered. Oops.
Oh, you just put something in there.
That's weird. Okay, sorry. That's really uncomfortable on my fingers. This keyboard is just not used to it. Okay, try that. Okay, so EUPDX, CS410, J, minesweeper. Group ID, minesweeper, kata, minesweeper, kata, version 1.0, package, sure. Cool.
Yeah, we got it.
So get status. Get status, get used to your keyboard. Cool, minesweeper kata, get add, minesweeper kata. And get commit. Oh wait, there's a modified. Added source code from archetype for minesweeper TM. Sweeper kata. Minesweeper kata. Get push.
Is that all of it?
I think so. Yeah, the archetype doesn't create very much from just a plain Java
Okay.
program. So now let's open it up in IntelliJ. And so now it's that minesweeper kata. Add root. Let's quick rename some classes. So it's a project roots. That's all. Minesweeper.
There's not many people here today.
No, it's not. That's alright. I'm sure rename the test also. Import auto enable. Cool. What do we got? We got renamed ping service simple. Oh, interesting. Let's just move that to a different change list. Or there we go. Now I got the interesting stuff. Okay, so cool. Let's just take a quick look at these. Renamed the main project, and then renamed all this stuff. Super cool. Is there anything else? No, that's it. Let's commit it. Renamed classes for minesweeper. Okay. Commit, push. Okay. Oh wait, why is it called Project 1 Test? Didn't I rename that?
How you
I
did?
thought I did too. Oh, maybe was there something I didn't? Okay. Okay. So let's take let's note. So what are some of the test cases that you came up with? I'm just gonna make some notes here of that. So what should we test?
You have an array. Matrix, I guess. Like most basic is there a matrix?
Is there a matrix?
Right, so then you can use that test to create your. You're trying to say like the 0, 0 has no output, like in these test cases here. I think that might.
Oh, that's another good one.
Okay, and now we have to create a two-dimensional array, right?
So we can test a 0 by 0 matrix. Okay. What else?
1 by 0. Something with 0 is one of the dimensions.
Okay. 0 by non-zero. Oh, yeah, negative, okay. Negative matrix size, okay. So, okay, so non-zero by non-zero, good. Okay, so that's good boundary condition testing on the dimensions of the matrix. So once we've got a valid matrix, what do we want to test?
Compare it to the pattern that we get to make sure that it matches that pattern, the dimensions match the pattern. That'd be too far then.
No, actually, I'm not too sure what you mean by that.
Like the given dimensions, if they match the actual dimensions of like the die.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, make sure that the matrix specified by the map, the landmine map. Oh yeah, field. Right, minefield. Yeah, minefield. Matches dimensions. Good. Nice. Okay. You guys over there? Anything else you want to add?
I mean, checking that the bombs are put in the right place.
Right. So not the numbers, just the bombs.
Well, you need to overall count of how many bombs there are.
Okay. So right. Making sure that the number of adjacent adjacent mines is correct.
Is there a certain number that the adjacent mines need to have? Can't there be any number of mines? I don't understand that test cases.
What's the range of mines that we can have?
Okay.
Because they just put in, don't they just put in the stars and the dots?
Yeah.
And then we convert it to the numbers?
Yes.
What's the most we can have and least we can have?
Okay, great. So, like, what's the least we can have? No mines, yeah. No mines, and then all mines?
Yeah. N by N.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
Would you find something that checks whether a cell in our like array or whatever is a mine or not? Maybe?
Okay.
Check that down.
Are mines correctly identified? In output.
There are all these stars and dots in their pattern that the minefield that they give us.
Hmm.
If they enter in with numbers or characters, it shouldn't be valid.
Right, and it's sort of like the ultimate test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Right, and then sort of building up to that, we probably I recommend that we sort of make the matrix bigger and bigger, right? Sort of start with like a degenerate case of like 1, and then go out in different dimensions. Okay. Cool. Any other test cases that people want to call out?
I mean, maybe it's already going to apply, but input is correct dots or stars.
So like if there's a different character in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Bad character. Not dot in input. Good.
If we need to have like new lines at the edge of each thing, so it looks like it was
Mhm. Yeah. Make sure input has new lines. Which is kind of probably the same thing as make sure the matrix specified has field dimensions, but it's good to capture it here. Make sure it has new lines. Anything else comes to people's minds? Want to remember down? Oh, that's cool. I think we got plenty to start with. So let's see here. Captured a bunch of test cases. By the way, if someone could verify they can fork my repository and like build this code locally while we're building it up, let's make sure we can do that. Appreciate it. Okay. What's the first test that we want to write? I'll get rid of all this invoke me and stuff.
Is there a matrix?
Is there a matrix? Okay. Is there a matrix? What does that look like?
What do we want to define the matrix as?
Two-dimensional array. minefield object versus minefield object.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. So actually, that's a good point. All this is called minesweeper. I wonder if minefield is sort of like that's the object that we're testing.
That's fine.
So let's do that. So let's rename everything again. Minefield test, and then I have a minefield class somewhere. Minesweeper. Rename this to minefield. Okay. So how do we implement this?
We need to check the existence of a minefield. Do we need to create the minefield first, or?
I think so. So
Create the minefield and then test for it. Do we create it in there, or do we create it outside of there?
let's create it in here first. We can always refactor it later.
All right.
You could have like 2 integers in the constructor to determine size.
So it can create my minefields. That's what it sounds like to me, right?
Yeah,
so it's like,
that
what can you do?
works.
I can create minefield. Okay. So I don't think we need this variable then. Oops. Yes. Oh, no way. What's up? Here we go. Okay, and so we'll run it. Control Shift F10. Yay! Super not very exciting. Okay.
So we have a minefield. Do we want to test the 0 by 0?
Great. Yeah, let's test 0 by 0 next. So,
Quick question.
yeah.
When you didn't assert anything, you just know that it compiles. That's
Yeah.
all you need to do at this point?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm always a little uncomfortable when I don't assert something as part of a test. So that guy might go away. So a 0 by 0 minefield, what? What about it makes it interesting?
It has no output in there except its test cases. Should that be an error?
What's the desired behavior when we have a 0 by 0 minefield? You know, I don't know. If I go and look at the kata,
But they have a 0, 0,
do they?
It essentially says that that indicates the end of the file.
So it's between. So m and n are greater than 0. So 0 should be right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
It says the end of it.
So if you give it a 0 by 0, what should happen?
It should fail. Or
Or
it shouldn't process it.
it.
So throws
Exception.
legal argument exception. So new minefield. Okay, now we need to provide it with 0 by 0. Right? Okay.
Now we need
So
to create that.
yeah, create the constructor. We'll call it rows, columns. Okay. And we expect that expected, there you go. Expected equals legal argument exception dot class. Okay. Does that test seem right? Oh, this guy doesn't compile anymore.
We need to put, what do we want to put in there now?
Just create the new constructor.
Well, but that's not really
Do we
valid,
have a-
right?
do we have
I
a
mean,
def-
what does it,
do we
what does
have
it
a
mean?
default for that?
I mean, I'm inclined to take out this test
Right.
because this will, we'll get there.
I've run into that in trying to develop. It's like
Yeah.
you start out very simple and then pretty quickly it's like instead of trying to make it work again, you just get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm inclined to delete that. Okay.
It's not relevant at that sort of
It served its use. Okay, expected exception, blah, but didn't get it. It's red. Let's go refactor it. Simplest thing that could work. Yeah, yes, yeah, throw new legal argument exception. Yay, we got that to pass. Okay. Let's quick check it in. Got our first test passing. What to do? Oops, wrong. Sean, I'm spent. Would you type for a while? Okay.
Alright, so where are we at? 0 by non-zero matrix.
Yeah.
So how do we want to do that?
Well, we want a 0 by non-zero matrix to do same behavior, right? We wanted to throw that exception. Okay.
So same thing.
Yeah.
Expected equals legal argument exception.
Yep.
Legal.
I was down there. Yeah.
What do we want to call it?
Yeah, how about what, 0 by non-zero or 0 by 5 or something like that? I don't know. Yeah.
0 by non-zero. Throw.
Minefield. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Zero, comma, 1.
Mhm.
Alright, so what do I want to do now?
You want to run it. So I use Control Shift 10.
Control
F10. Sorry.
So it passes.
Yep, it passed. Meh. We knew it because we always throw it.
Yeah.
Let's do. Yeah, I guess now we need to do. We could write the test case for 1, comma 0.
Do you want to do that, or do we want to keep going?
Yeah, actually, here's what we'll do. We will. How about we write the test and we'll leave an exercise to them to actually write it and get it passing.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
I would just copy that dude. It's duplicate. So with Control D or okay, you can do that too. You did get an extra.
Paste. Yeah, I did get that.
Actually,
Oh, what did I do?
what did you do? I don't know.
I wasn't expecting. So we want to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And 0 by non-zero.
That'll probably be non-zero by 0.
What, non-zero by 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, non-zero by 0.
Non-zero by 0.
And then delete the body. Okay, thanks.
Delete this.
Yeah, and then put an add ignore on this one. So you guys can implement that one. Cool.
And then where's
The green triangle, you need to run it again.
where's it?
What you looking for?
The commit.
Oh, under version control.
What do you want to put?
Uh-oh. It's your code. Yeah. Cool.
I'm not sure if I pushed that.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get it next time. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna make a pass without. Well, so there are a whole bunch more. May I take the keyboard back?
Yeah.
There are a whole bunch more things about validating the size of the field, size of the minefield that I'll let you guys do because I think what's most interesting is when we start implementing the logic for the dots and the stars and stuff like that. So let's just quick implement. Actually, okay, sorry, wait a second. Let's go back. And let's run them all. How do you get to be 8 o'clock already? I talked way too much about GWT. Let us let's have us start, or at least sort of flesh out the API for populating the minefield. So let's see here. Like, let's look at the degenerate case of minefield with one mine. Well, actually, 1 by 1 minefield with 1 mine. So 1 by 1 minefield with 1 mine has 1 mine. I think in order to get this one to implement, we'll have to sort of figure out what this API looks like. So create a new minefield field equals new mine field. How's Facebook?
Fine.
1 by 1. Never a good sign when your parents just like anyway. And then let's populate. Let's see here. Let's say field dot add line. Something like it's got 1 star like this. Oops. Create method add line. And then, okay, so now I've got my field, and now I want to get like the filled out field. What should we call that? So what do we call this thing?
The end result.
I'm sorry, what?
Hint field?
Hint field? Oh, okay. I like that. Hint field. Hint equals new hint field. Actually, no, it doesn't equal that. It equals, so I'm going to ask for field dot get hint field. Yeah. Create class hint field. There. It's all good. I'd love to add that to get. Yeah, not yet. Oops.
Null for now, or
I prefer to use
throw an exception.
Yeah, so unsupported operation exception. That's what I like to use. I'll say not implemented yet, because that way it's like very obvious that we haven't done anything. Okay, and so then now I think we want to assert that hint dot. So we basically want to say it looks like just a 1 by 1 with a star. So like get line 0 equal to the string star.
Should work.
I think that seems right. Stack import method. So you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm sort of fleshing out like what the API looks like, but based on the test, right? So I was like, okay, I want it to. I'm going to give it a minefield with only 1 character, and how come I didn't import that? Static import method is equal to sure core matchers. Okay, there we go. And then get line number, and throw new unsupported operation exception, not implemented yet. Okay, so now when I run this, all blows up because I got a legal argument exception. That's what I expect, because that's all my constructor does.
Let them to go from here.
Yeah. You guys see where I'm going with this? Do you want to take it from here for a little bit? Actually, I don't want that. Yeah, how about you take it from here for a little bit? We'll work on it for like a half an hour, reconvene, and see how everybody does. Everybody understand where we're getting to?
I commit this from here.
Yeah, definitely commit it. It's a good idea. And Sean and I will be around to help out. So let's see here. Added more of the API for the minefield. Commit and push. Okay. Has everybody been able to have people been able to fork it? Do you know what I mean by fork?
I forked it, but I'm trying to pick it up.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So I'll pause here, and Sean and I will help.
I'm still trying to figure out how to turn it.
Okay. Let's make it huge. So unmute your mic. So it's not showing up like you can hear you. Kamakshi, can you mute your mic on the Hangout? Yeah, right there. Yep. So yeah, mute that. Yeah, click that to mute. Click that. Oh, is it like hung up? Yeah, you can join everything later. Yeah. So yeah, hang up or just close the window. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. And so are you on, Iman? Yep. Okay. Do it. And you can share your camera if you want. Or not. Or not. That's cool. Okay. So tell us about this code.
Okay, so we finished off from where you started, and we added in a few more tests to test. Ugh.
I mean, we kind of went the minimal route where our get line was just returning, a splat literal. And then we went and wrote another test. So the field actually has to store the lines that it gets and then pass that over to the hint field that has to store them and then return them when you ask with get line. So we didn't get too far, but the hint and the minefield are storing everything in just a string array.
And then we just started now on the mismatch between the rows and columns that are being passed in and how many rows and columns you can add and if the sizes match. So we're starting on that now. Yeah. We had a lot more talking going on and not too much coding.
That's good. Let's take a look at the minefield and the hint field classes, see how you implemented things, or see how things are currently implemented. It sounded like there's still some more you wanted to do.
So our board is just going to be an array of strings, and the columns is just going to be the size of each of the strings. And then we have our constructor that initializes our rows and columns.
We're remembering the line number because that API that you have is, add line every time. So we're remembering that.
Mm-hmm.
And we validate to make sure it's big enough. And then we started to get to the length mismatches here. We didn't have too many or too few columns or rows rather, but we're looking at the columns here.
And we were just about to add for the rows. So if they added too many rows, then we would throw an exception that it's now too large.
And then we pass the board is what we're calling it. So we're not saying field over and over. We pass that over to the hint field that for now is just taking it and storing it so it can return the line numbers. But yeah, somewhere, you will have to calculate the actual numbers instead of blanks in there.
Yeah.
And that's as far as we got.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Any questions or other feedback for that? Very nice. Oh, okay, yeah.
So why not choose a string for the board?
Well, I was always thinking that it would be kind of some two-dimensional array, but it seemed like an array of strings can represent everything that we need to and still be pretty easy to work with.
Mhm.
Neat. Yeah, very nice. Quite clever. Mark? What's up? Nice. So let's see, Mark sharing his screen. And let's see here, and I'll oh, can you unmute yourself, Mark? I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Well, we didn't get very far. But we just picked up and we started to, we tested, we completed the thing where we would test for non-zero by non-zero and non-zero by one and one by non-zero and make sure that those all pass. And we ignored the one down here, well, we kept that ignored. And we were starting to build this part here where, well, first we made sure that the constructor worked. And in doing that, it helped us create a minefield. And we just passed in and built a string array, a two-dimensional string array with that. I don't know where we were going to go, but then we're having a difficulty in, how these string arrays present their result. If you're trying to struggling with how to quality of that with a multi-dimensional string array. So it was a lot of sort of re-remembering string array, multi-dimensional string arrays, or multi-dimensional arrays of any sort. Yeah, so we got to the point where we actually, we constructed it, and now we're trying to test it to make sure that it equals just some of those, we just have one period where we haven't solved that yet. We didn't get very far. For example, like, expected was, a period, and the result was bracket, bracket. So all of the get minefield method turns the array. So we would have to say, like, the field dot get minefield specify that. What now? 0, 0. Yeah. For this test. It would be nice to have a test that only generic. So then as the array gets bigger, yeah. At the moment, yeah, just know that. Get down very big. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good deal.
So we're going at slug speed.
Slugs in the race.
That's right, in the long term, right?
Yeah.
Completely bug free.
Yeah.
CS 300 probably.
Slow right the first way, and yes, and with unit tests, so you can go and refactor with impunity.
So that's right. Then we're thinking, okay, well, we're adding a whole line at a time.
Okay, cool. Is your laptop going to be back up and running, or is it like, nope, not happening? Okay. Cool. And plus, it's getting kind of late. So yes, let's Thank you. Let's go to the Hangout. Oops. What did I do? There we go. Okay, I think we're done with the Hangout. Hang up. Cha-ching. Cool. Okay then. So a little Q&A. So how did it work tonight? We didn't have a lot of time to pair. Did it help to sort of see me do it? Did the GitHub thing forking my repository, did that work okay? At least we got you started a little bit better, maybe. Okay. Next week I want to continue and do a little bit more. Yeah, the same kata. And then, because what I really want to do is by the time we get to week after next, or maybe I should do it next week. No, a week after next, I want to put a GWT front end on top of it. So, but that will be, that'll sort of like be the end of it, and that I think will give you some insight into what programming with GWT is like. But that'll probably mainly be you guys watching me do the GWT stuff. Okay, excellent. Any questions before we adjourn? No? Okay. Well, if you have them, please ask them on the community or to me in email. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks.